All right.
Good afternoon once again. Just gonna give, I can see from my attendees list that we've got a couple of people for the event. So I will just move ahead so that we'll just start from here. For those of you guys that are joining us for the first time, my name is Gagba Esahaya, and I'm the training coordinator with the Temple Small Business Development Center. At the Temple Small Business Development Center helps small businesses start and grow. We offer free one-on-one consulting and a variety of low to no cost webinars. We are proud to be part of the nationally accredited network of the small business and development centers, which has over 1,000 networks across the United States. Today is indeed a good day because we are here for a meeting on intermediate WordPress, social media, and SEO. A copy of the PowerPoint and a link to the recording will be sent to all the attendees. However, this is a meeting. I will urge each and every one of us to mute ourselves. When the need arises for you guys to unmute yourself, will definitely draw your attention. Without further ado, please allow me to welcome our wonderful speaker, even as she takes over the floor for the presentation. Kelly, you're welcome.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Kelly, and I'm going to be leading today's course on how to integrate social media channels with your WordPress website. And we're going to discuss various software integrations that may be of benefit to your site. These could include SEO tools, e-commerce platforms, CRMs, and live chat functions. If you do not attend last week's session, welcome. And a little bit of background info about me. I work as a senior graphic designer in Philly. I graduated from Temple's Tyler School of Art with a bachelor's degree in graphic and interactive design. I'm currently pursuing my master's degree here at Fox in digital marketing, and I've designed several WordPress sites for clients over the years, and it's my favorite web design tool. I'm not biased, I swear. So since not everyone can attend all of our sessions, we're just going to quickly go over a recap of what we learned in WordPress basics and also what we learned in last week's intermediate course. So just running through these really quickly, we learned how to navigate the WordPress dashboard, how to purchase web domains, how to create pages and posts in the block editor, how to build a sitemap and the importance of planning your website's content, how to customize your site through WordPress themes, changing the fonts, colors, how to add photos and different widgets to your pages, and lastly, page integration. So how to link content between your pages. Just a brief overview again of what last week's intermediate course was. We learned a bunch of key terms, the basics of how to analyze our website. Better site optimization leads to better search results, leads to more traffic and more business. And how to integrate Google Analytics with our premium or paid WordPress subscriptions. So if anyone has any questions in regards to last week's topic, please feel free to send me an email to schedule a one-on-one consultation after today's course. I'll provide my email address at the end of the lesson.
Today is clean the door day.
Rodney, could you mute yourself?
Another big spice for you in the door. What are we waiting for? Come on, let's go. Red tea, head back.
Thanks. Okay, so just want to recap all of our keywords from WordPress Intermediate, analyzing your website. Just because a lot of them we might be touching on today. So just a nice little refresher. So views or page views, how you would measure how many times the page has been loaded or reloaded in a web browser. Impressions, this occurs anytime a user opens an app or website and there's an advertisement visible. This doesn't include when they click on it or engage with the ad. Clicks, so how many times the user has clicked on your site. Visitor, how many internet users has visited your site. The bounce rate, so the percentage of site visits that are single page sessions with the visitor leaving without viewing a second page. Conversion, a user completes a desired action, subscribing to a newsletter or filling out a form. Keyword, a word or phrase that describes the content of a page. Load time, so how long it takes for a page to load, what affects your load time, which is all of the elements that make up your website, any large images, videos, web content, but also your hosting server, the user's location and device they're using. Is someone trying to access your website and they might have bad cell reception trying to access it from their phone? What's the ideal load time? Anywhere between 0.1 and 2.9 seconds is ideal for your page to load. Anything between 3 and 5 seconds is good, but anything over 10 seconds, you may need to make some changes to your web content. 51% of online consumers leave a slow website, and 65% don't wait longer than 3 seconds for a web page to load. Next, we have meta tags. We'll be talking about this a little bit later as well. This is an HTML tag that describes the content on a web page. So this is data about data. These tags are used to specify character sets, keywords, page descriptions, much more. They make it easier for search engines to determine what your content is about. So these are vital for SEO. SEO, so this is the art and science of getting pages to rank higher in search engines like Google. Since search engines are one of the main ways in which people discover content online, the higher you rank in these search engines, the larger your increase in traffic to your site will be. Next, we have referrals. So visitors use the links on other sites to get to your site. There's direct referrals and organic. Direct is when visitors clicked on links from their own bookmarks or favorites, untagged links within emails, or even links from PDFs or Word docs. An organic referral is a visitor that got to your site by an unpaid search engine listing. So something that's not sponsored. If somebody Googled something on their search engine and it wasn't one of the top ones that popped up, one of the top results, it wasn't a sponsored ad, that would be an organic referral. Entry page is the first web page users reach at the beginning of a session, usually the home page, but it's not always the case. Exit page, the last page a visitor views before they leave your site. If you see that a lot of people are using the same exit page and it's a product page, maybe that's not good. Session, a record of a single visitor browsing a website, and the views by country, visits to a website broken down by the geographical location of the viewer. Next up, so topics for today. Now that we've gone over all of those key terms, we will have more, I'm sorry. Other topics we have are best practices for incorporating social media in your business, how to integrate your business's social media accounts in your WordPress site, more SEO key terms, some SEO plugins, and optimization tips. So to start off, does anyone have any favorite social media accounts that they follow? It could be a brand that you use, a sports team, or a favorite band. What do they do that sticks out to you as a follower? I know I have a few favorites. I'm actually going to pull up a couple of them. Can't see. So I love the Sixers. Huge Sixers fan. I always interact with their Instagram posts and tweets. As a designer, I love the way they design their posts instead of just making several different posts for, let's see, James Harden. He's now one of the all-time 3-point scorers. So instead of just posting this a bunch of times, they use that slideshow feature to show not only the graphic, but some highlights. And also a pretty straightforward caption here as well. Another brand that I also love to follow is Bombas. If you're not familiar, they're a clothing line with their main product being socks. And for each pair of socks you purchase, a pair of socks goes to someone in need. So not only do I love the brand that gives back, but their Instagram grid is great on the eye. Each post is intentional. It shows their product. It highlights the wide variety of patterns that are featured on their products, but it also shows more community impact, just really kind of emphasizes the brand while also showing all the products they have to offer. Let's see. Awesome. So if anybody has any other accounts that they feel free to put them in the chat. Everyone likes to get some more inspiration. Doesn't just have to be a sports team or a clothing brand. It can be Wendy's because they tweet funny things, or Pop-Tarts because they just interact a lot with people that tweet about them. I think I can see. Nope. All right. Next, we'll talk about social media platforms. There are a ton of different social media channels out there that you can use. Doesn't mean you should be using every single platform or creating an account for every platform for your business. When thinking about social media platforms you want to use for your business, think about who your current customers are and who your target customers are. Different social media platforms serve different purposes, but they also cater to different audiences. For example, LinkedIn and Twitter are great platforms for business professionals. LinkedIn is a professional network to share business updates, find jobs, and network. Twitter is also a great networking tool thanks to the quick update and short form blog style of the website. But you wouldn't necessarily go to Pinterest or Instagram and search for a job or new network connections. Facebook is a great starting point to set up your business. You can set up a business page and start posting updates or products that your company offers and start getting followers. You can easily turn those followers into leads for your business if you're engaging with them. Plus, Facebook has great customer service tools through Facebook Messenger, and you can easily advertise your business through Facebook's advertising tools. Something I also love with Facebook is your ability to set up events and invite people to, say, an open house for an art gallery or an upcoming spring event. Keep in mind what kind of content you have available that you can start putting out on social media. If you have a highly visual oriented business, for example, you own a fashion company with a lot of photos of the clothes you sell, you might consider making an Instagram and a Pinterest account to display your products. If you own a consultancy company, you might want to turn to LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook and set up business pages for your company. Put out informative content about your services and start connecting with potential clients. I love this graphic. So this is a great way to just wrap your mind around how these different platforms are used. You may tweet, I am #eating donuts, but you certainly would not rate that as a LinkedIn status. It would just be my skills include eating donuts, and vice versa for all of these. So let's take a look at the data provided in this chart. Based on numbers alone, we can see Facebook is a great place to start off due to its demographic. It is a much wider range of users and it's popular amongst older demographics. Instagram is another great one for any target audience. It's really between 18 and 49. But as you can see, a lot of people talk about TikTok now, but it's mainly focused in the younger generation between 18 and 29. And if your target audience is in their 50s, they're not going to be on TikTok. If anyone just wants to take a look at this while it's up, I'll look in the chat. And this is from 2021, so this is pretty recent data. So social media strategy, what is the point of all of this? Why can't I just make a Facebook and an Instagram for my business, link it to my website and call it a day? The visibility and connection with your customers is what will set you apart from your competitors. You'll be able to reach new audiences that you want to reach and provide useful content. But you have to be able to maintain your social media presence for it to be effective. Posting sporadically and hoping for the best won't bring you the results that you want. A local bar restaurant around the corner from me posts daily. Is that necessary? No. But I'm able to see their specials, know what live music is playing, when Quizzo night is, and if they'll be closed on Sunday for a private function, all from my phone, They don't need to update their website for it. They just post it on social media. It's great. It's like its own form of blogging, I guess, but they also don't need to post as much as they do. Building followers takes time and patience, but if you focus on your content, use meaningful hashtags, and engage with other users, your followers will find you. This is also a great customer service tool. If you had a great experience at your business, that person's going to want to tag you in your business. That brings more reach from their followers to your page. And if a customer didn't have a great experience, you'll be able to chat with them directly through social media to come up with a solution. This is all a great way to show off what your business has to offer. So there are a bunch of tools that integrate seamlessly with your social media accounts. It doesn't have to be monitored every minute of every day. There are tools that you can use. So some of these tools include Hootsuite, Buffer, built-in schedule on Facebook, TweetDeck, Later, which is for Instagram. There are also tools available for you to create graphics. So you could use Canva or Adobe Express. Adobe Express is previously known as Adobe Spark. I don't believe that you have to pay for Canva. You might have to pay for a subscription for Adobe Express. I already pay for one as a designer, but they might have a free option available. Does anybody have any other tools that they use that wasn't mentioned here that we should know about? Do you think of Meta Business Suite for schedule? Never used it. Do you use it? Envato. I'm going to write these down. Oh, Meta, the new Facebook one. Yes, sorry. Light bulb. I actually personally don't use any of those. I'm more on the designer side of the digital marketing scheduling tools, but I'm pretty sure that the company I work for uses the Meta Business Suite. So they must like it. What's Envato? Is Envato a design tool, or is it a scheduling tool? Oh, we love free. Okay, up next. So social media and your website. Your social media accounts should be supplementary to what's on your website, but it's also a customer-facing tool where you can interact with potential or current customers. Remember that your social accounts and your website are direct reflections of your company or brand. So keep that in mind as you decide how you want to use social media. Do you want it to be a display of your products? Do you want to put out helpful instructional videos on how to use your products? Do you want to use social media as a customer service tool? It all really depends on what your goals are and what you want to get out of your social media accounts for your business. So adding your social accounts to your website. There are a few different options available for adding your social accounts to your WordPress site. You can find these in your widgets settings. I just tried to go, actually, I'll just share my screen for this. Just kind of proves how nitpicky WordPress is today. So I use a theme called Simplice. It is a WordPress theme for portfolios. And in that theme, I'm able to include my social media links in my menu. And because of that, I am not able to get to the widgets to show you how to add a widget. But typically you go through appearance, and right down here, I would say widgets, and just type in social media and they will pop up. You can also display your social accounts in the footer of our website. Let's see if I can actually go into my pages. No, footer. I don't believe my footer has anything in it. Nah. So you'd be able to just add your social media links right in here. But again, this is just a different kind of theme.
Okay, Google, what's the temperature?
In Philadelphia, it's currently 69 degrees.
Please don't ask Google anything. I have one. Adding social accounts. All right. So does anybody have any questions so far? I know I'm going through a lot of material right now. So if no one has questions, we can keep moving. If you do, hopefully we can answer them. Okay, we're gonna keep moving then. All right, I warned you there are more keywords. So some of these we've mentioned earlier, so I'm just gonna go over any new ones. The alt text tag or attribute. This is a text alternative to images for search engines. If you apply alt tags to a product photo, it'll help your e-commerce store to appear in the search engine. So for example, tagging a photo of Philly pretzel scented candle would actually help boost that on a Google search. But also it helps screen reading tools describe this image to anyone who's visually impaired that's visiting your page. So they may use a screen reading tool, and if your image doesn't have any alt tags on it, they don't know what that image contains. Next up is the fold. So this is the point on your website where the page gets cut off by the bottom of a user's monitor or browsing window. I can actually just show you quickly what the fold is here. As you're scrolling down, this is the fold, right where it ends, right down here. So obviously it changes depending on different people's monitors and the varying sizes of people's displays, but for the most part, you want to kind of get the design of your website around the fold. You don't want, sentences getting cut off in the middle of it. Heading, so your headline, any text on your site that is larger or stronger than the other text on your site. This could be your about us heading or our mission. You don't want these to be too long, as you want it to guide the viewer to the content below, although I'm sure the content below is, or all of the content is still very important. Use it more as a guide than how all of your type is designed. HTML, the code part of your website that search engines read, you shouldn't have to worry too much about this because you're using WordPress or any kind of website building tool. They kind of do the code for you, which is why we love that. Inbound link is similar to a referral. It's links from other sites that point to your website. It's kind of like a backlink. Next is the long tail keywords. An uncommon or infrequently searched keyword. This is usually a 2 or more word phrase. Meta description. This is a brief description of the contents of a page and why someone would want to visit. Kind of referring back to the alt tags and meta tags from before. Page rank, a number from 0 to 10, indicating how good your overall SEO is. PPC is your pay per click, more advertising terms. The slug is the identifying part of your website. This is typically at the end of your URL. And the title tag. So the title of a page on your website that appears in your HTML code. This appears in search engine results at the top of the user's web browser. So why is SEO important? So having your website optimized for SEO allows internet search engines to analyze and comb through your site. The search engine just uses the information on your site to relay to users who are searching for what your company or brand might offer. Optimized SEO means higher search rankings, which means higher traffic to your website, which means more sales and clients, kind of similar to our equation from last week. Great search results take time and will not happen overnight, even with 100% perfectly optimized pages. You just kind of got to be patient, and I promise the SEO works out for you. So next up are the SEO plugins. Some plugins are free, some are not, but many will guide you in how to improve your SEO with step-by-step tutorials, tips and tricks, and intuitive indicators. Some examples of popular SEO plugins are Yoast SEO, SEMrush, SEO Writing Assistant, SEO Ultimate, Squirrely SEO, Rank Math, and SEO Framework. To the right, you'll see the Yoast SEO Premium. I currently just have the free version. I'll kind of quickly walk you through just what the free version has to offer, but on the right, you can see how the green smiley faces kind of give you a little preview that your SEO is doing well. There's nothing that you need to review, fix. It's actually a really nice tool. So we're going to do the demo now. So through plugins, you can kind of be able to add different new plugins. I was just able to type this in, SEO, and then type in Yoast. Yoast pops right up and you're able to install it and activate it. And then it kind of pops up right down here. So I added this to my personal portfolio website. I just set up the free version. It's not dire for my website. I'm not really have products to sell. It's just more of a place where my work can be shown. You can get the premium version as you'll have much more fun with it than what the free version has to offer. You can increase your SEO reach with multiple key phrases, preview your page in Facebook and Twitter, get real-time suggestions for internal links. They'll fix all your dead links, so no 404 error pages. They have great customer service, apparently. It really is just a great tool, but we're going to do a quick preview of what they have to offer. So by clicking on the features here, we can just see what we can toggle and not toggle. I don't have insights and link suggestions available because I don't have premium. Different integrations. They can integrate with third-party products. I'm not using these, so I can actually just switch these off. And then you can go down to social. You can actually add your social URLs here. Did not know MySpace still existed. They also have these different tools that you can use. You can import and export other SEO plugins, different settings. You can edit your files through here. You can also do these workouts, which are really cool. These pretty much are just like step-by-step tutorials on how to use Yoast. Obviously, if you get premium, you can use the premium features. They're going to have tutorials for the premium features as well. Just more in-depth learning of how to use the specific plugin. And if we were to have any analysis results, this is actually what it would look like. Let me see. Just pulled this up from their blog. So it gives you a really good idea of, by color coordinating, here are the problems that need fixing right now. Your meta description length has not been specified. Improvements, so you need to add some different keywords for your images. And here are the things that are doing really well. It's just a really good and easy to use tool. I just, again, specifically don't need it for my website. Ooh. Oh, we're talking about Canva. Okay. So go back to here. So some optimization tips. You can optimize your images with alt text and tags. So search engines can only index or save your site's data in search engine using text. The only way Google will recognize that you have images on your site is if you include alt text or tags. We mentioned that in our keywords, our SEO keywords. You want to avoid duplicate content. Search engines will penalize you if you copy text from one page of your website to another. An example of this would be if you use the same product description repeatedly for similar products, just try to spice it up for each one. And just by using different words, it also will help boost your SEO. Each page should have original content for the search engine to index. WordPress tags and categories, these help you organize related posts, pages on your website, and they act as clues for readers and search engines to know what the content of your website is about. Keep your website slug short, so 5 words or less. Also, if you have a numeric value in the title of a blog post or article, this is good for capturing readers' interest and getting them to click on your post. But the numeric value isn't picked up by the search engine, so leave it out of your slug/permalink. Does anybody have any questions about slugs/permalinks? I just realized that those are not in the key terms, but let me pull up what your slug would be. So like my slug would be here, I'm on my work page, and then we should be able to edit a permalink. Pages. I think there's some of those posts. Permalinks should be in the pages, but just want to keep that relatively short. Next, you just want to use long tail keywords as mentioned. These are great for small businesses to optimize your SEO. Keywords work in a bidding format. Companies bid on certain keywords to drive internet users to their sites. Optimizing your website with consulting as a keyword is too broad. So too many companies will be bidding on that keyword and you'll be competing with a lot of other businesses. But if you were to use social media consulting in Philadelphia, there will be less people bidding on it as it contains more words and is more specific. You want to create content for your website in the form of blog posts, informative articles, news releases, etc. Remember, search engines can only find your content and index or save your website based on the text you have on your site. The more text there is, the more opportunities there are for a search engine to find your site. When you're formatting your posts, make sure you have a clear header for your posts and subheaders throughout your posts to guide the reader's eye. Kind of how we mentioned the headlines earlier. Make sure you're incorporating your keywords into your post in a natural way. Throwing a keyword randomly onto a page won't make any sense to the search engine or your readers. Your keywords should accurately match the content on your website, word for word, if possible. Include hyperlinks both to internal pages of your site and external sites. This builds bridges with your website and other websites, but only do this if it makes sense to do so. As for internal links, if you mention a new product or service you have or reference any other piece of content that lives on your website, be sure to link that page so if the reader wants to learn more about it, they can just click the link in the paragraph. Does anybody have any questions? No. So we are pretty much done. A homework or exercise you can do after this course is plan out a social strategy, create accounts if you don't have them but want them, integrate those social accounts into your WordPress site, find an SEO plugin that works for you, whether it's Yoast or if it's not, and then optimize your site's SEO. Some of our key takeaways for today are to choose the right social media platforms for your customers, for your business. Your social presence should represent your brand identity and complement your brand. Optimizing SEO is trial and error, and great search rankings don't happen overnight. Again, if anybody has any specific questions about your website or account, anything that we've learned today, last week, or even in WordPress basics, you can schedule a one-on-one consultation with me. Just shoot me an email at the email provided on the screen, and we can set up a time to go over it. But that's all from me.
Okay, Kelly, thank you for a wonderful presentation. This actually goes to my attendees. As usual, we at Temple SPDC, we always cherish your feedback. So I'm just going to drop a link here for our normal 30-second survey on today's webinar. Please, we urge you guys to try as much as possible to fill out to that. We will improve on the services we provide to you guys at a low cost. And of course, even as we still wait for more questions to come up, I actually saw a couple of questions for people that missed last week meeting. I did say some of you should drop your emails, and I'll try as much as possible to send you a copy of the PPT and if possible, the PowerPoint presentation so that all of us will be on the same page. But like Kelly said, it's now time for question. If you have questions, you need more clarification on one or two things, please feel free. I think at this junction, you can unmute yourself, to say one or two things before we wrap it up for the day. I'm just gonna give probably 5 minutes to see if anyone will come up with one or two questions, or you need one or two clarifications. Just take your time, okay?
Portfolio site link. I use a theme called Simplice. It's really nice to use for portfolios, if you're a photographer, anything that you're kind of doing collections like that. Personally, other themes that I love are Divi. Not quite sure what else Aaron might have touched on during WordPress basics, but there's some really, really nice themes that you can have a lot of flexibility to customize. Oh, awesome. Yeah, definitely recommend Simplice.
Hi, Kelly. This is Sam Nixon. How are you?
Hi.
Just
Oop. Samuel?
I'm sorry.
Ah,
okay. Let me. All right, just a second, Kelly. I just said cut out my other.
I think he's having a problem with the sound.
is it from me?
No. Definitely it's not from me because I can hear you loud and clear. And I'm sure you can also hear me loud and clear.
Yeah.
I think it should be from his end. Hello, Samuel. Could you please unmute yourself again?
Maybe if you have it open on two different, like maybe on his phone.
Yeah, got you. I just saw it here. He has like two, he came in like twice because I'm seeing like him being in two different places.
Oh.
Or better still, could you please just drop the question on the chat box?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had the other story on. And you should be able to hear me now. I was going to ask the question. First of all, thank you, Kelly, for the sharing. I was going to ask for, I know that you were doing WordPress today. I was going to ask, I guess later I can speak with you in terms of because I'm doing finishing up my website on the Squarespace.
Squarespace, yeah.
So, yeah, so some of the tips you were sharing, I did want to talk more about maybe how I might apply those in Squarespace. So maybe, I guess maybe it'd be better to take some time to do that at a one-on-one.
Yeah. What's your availability this week? I might be full tomorrow, but I can probably hop on a call.
Yeah, we can look at it either today or tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow start the next day.
Yeah.
What I can do is I can shoot you, I guess, some times at the email that you gave.
Yeah,
And,
I'll put my email in here as well, just so everybody has it.
Okay, I can do that. But thank you for the tips because I am looking at how best to get the SEO portion in and to make sure that I'm clear on the best ways to maximize it for the site that I'm launching this coming week.
Awesome. Sounds good. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for your email and we can set something up for this week.
Okay. And the only other thing I'll ask is, you may have touched on it earlier, I didn't hear the full session today. Are there any resources, either YouTube wise or otherwise, that are good for getting some sort of overview of the things to look out for both SEO maximization and others? Are there any recommended sites that you know would be good?
I'm gonna actually look at SEO sites or plugins specifically for Squarespace and then send that to you. Does that work?
Okay, no, I appreciate that. Help there. Okay, I'll shoot you the mail and then we can come up with a time later on.
Awesome. Sounds good. I'll keep an eye out.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else, please, for more clarification or, one or two questions? Okay, I think absence of any other question, before I wrap it up for the day, just want to use this opportunity to thank each and every one of you guys for keeping it a day with us. Kelly, thank you for a wonderful presentation. And I love the way everything went. I love some of the questions that came up on board. And just want to use this opportunity, do in absentia, to thank my fellow colleagues at Temple SPDC for their usual support, for making it possible for this meeting to come into existence. Thank you, everyone, and have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Have a good one, guys.